4 honey total.
That's good. Thank you.
But they told me 3.
Hey everybody, how you doing? We are Scarves and Spikes. We're an Atlanta United podcast. We're here to get you ready for the game. So we're gonna get you pumped, talk about it. Woo! Who's excited to see Miguel Almiron back at Atlanta United?
Maggie! Why am I sitting down? I need to be sitting up, by the way.
I did the math, or I checked the website to do the math for me. It's been 2,268 days since Miguel out there put an Atlanta United kit on, won an MLS championship, and as our friend Matt said earlier in our Discord, it's the first to actually be putting the kit on with the Star.
Yes.
Right?
He won the Star, and he hasn't had a chance to wear it yet, and today is that day.
It's awesome. Really excited for today. Really excited for the season, and you all are as well. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for joining us. It's about, 2 hours till kickoff, guys? Is that right?
Yeah, just
2 hours, 10 minutes.
Guys, we appreciate y'all coming out. If you're here, and I gave this spiel last year, if you don't know who we are a podcast in Atlanta, MLS, and to a degree, U.S. soccer podcast called Scarves and Spikes. I'm going to do the spill. Go to YouTube.
We should introduce ourselves first.
We appreciate it.
Don't know who we are.
Huh?
We should introduce ourselves individually because people don't know who we are.
Well, you start. Wait, I'm going to put you on the spot.
This is...
I'm Tommy from Cleveland. I'm weird.
Tyler Pilgrim from right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And then this guy, very spiffy-looking individual who decided to dress like he's going to school. I'm Henry, guys. Henry Higuita. Nice to meet you guys. And then Jackson Popkin is over here. If you're a UGA fan, this is the guy you need to talk to.
Joker Kelly, 40-35, by the way, 14 minutes ago in the second.
So let's talk about it real quick. Atlanta United has been not very good for the last 4 years, right? We've made the playoffs a few times. We've had some early exits. But last season, they did the miracle job. They made the playoffs on the last day with, what was it, a 3% chance or something ridiculous?
Technically,
1.9.
10, whatever. Very low chance of making the playoffs. We knocked Messi out of the playoffs, right? What, that was the last home game. It was 70,000 people over at that stadium. Knocking Messi out of the playoffs, absolutely amazing. Today we're going to have 65,000, I think.
Something like that, 70,000.
at least.
By the way,
This is the comeback, right?
Yes.
This is the year that we should be excited.
by the way, I know we want to look at the audio. We're seeing people online. If you're watching online, by the way, seeing people online saying audio is a little scratchy, a little mumbled. So we'll kind of work on that. But yeah, really. So by the way, right there on Messon's floor, inside the Signia by Hilton Hotel, right across the street from not right across the backyard from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Guys, I don't know if you've seen this behind us, and I don't know if you can get a camera looking at it, but there are a throng of people trying to get a camera here, but a lot of people trying to get into the stadium. Right here, it is 2 hours before kickoff, and it's insane.
It's sold out. It's pretty much a sellout, right? And this is what Atlanta United used to be, right? Before Joseph Martinez got hurt in Nashville and COVID happened, it was all downhill after that. But now it's the reboot, and I think we're on a good pace here to have a good season, right?
Right.
Yeah, so, by the way, also, first come, first serve. We got some stickers up here we're giving away. They're Atlanta United. Raise your hand and make some noise if, despite where he's gone from here, you are still a Joseph Martinez fan. We've got some Joseph stickers up here. We got some Scarves and Spikes stickers. Try not to take them all for your group. Share the love a little bit, but these are up here if anybody wants any. So, but no, guys, we're super excited to be here for this. This is the beginning of a season that feels the most exciting since, in my opinion, 2019. 2019 was the last, if you want to be technical, if you want to talk about silverware, 2019 is Atlanta United's last successful season, right?
Yeah.
Here we are, 2025. Miguel Almiron is back at Atlanta United.
He is.
And he has a whole cast and crew of folks next to him that I think we all agree could really push this team to the next level.
Well, let's talk about the cast and crew real quick. Obviously, the big one, Melia Latte Lot. By the way, if you're watching online, let us know if the audio is a little bit better. But yeah, Melia Latte Lot is the big one. $22 million signee, of course. $22 million transfer fee. MLS records. So, that's loud. There we go. MLS record. So we've talked about this numerous times. Like the expectations are going to be so high for this guy, really off the bat. I mentioned before, if he goes like 5-10 matches without a goal, hopefully that doesn't happen. But if that does happen, there's some questions that will be asked among the fan base. So why don't you speak to again the expectations that
who's what, 75 years old? Like he's 25, right? I mean, the guy I went back and watched our video that was huge. Rasmus Gonzalo Pineda been here. Then we asked him here by the end of the year. We said no. So left. This might be Greg. So what perfect way to send him out?
We're going to talk about the big guys. I feel like the sort of supporting cast, and not players, but you need a good supporting cast behind you. You have, of course, Donald Amador. Fortunately, he's injured, so we won't see him for the time being. Of course, there's Brooks Lennon. He's injured. We won't see him for a few weeks. Your center backs, kind of worried about Williams. Not super worried, but Williams is questionable tonight. So, coin toss whether we see him for the full 90 minutes, if he starts at all. Noah Cobb, who we had on the show last week, another big piece. Missing a few. Jay Fortune, what can he do in 2025 after filling in for Tristan Million-Baugh? What can Tristan Million-Baugh do? Silva, who we've talked about numerous times, Mascara. So Chris Henderson and Garth Lager say, hey, look, we need depth. We need players below our starters 2-3 deep. And it's a matter of those guys below the starting lineup to step up and really help this team when they need to come in. And that's one of the main things I'm looking for.
Shonde Silva is my Jurgen Damm now. Like, he's fast, he's exciting, he can score a goal, or maybe Jurgen Damm will maybe scored one goal for us, maybe, right? But the belief is that there's going to be goals there, right? And I still think that he's got a lot to give. But right now, he's not a starter, right? So is he a super sub? I mean, that term goes around way too easy. Everybody's a super sub, right? But he's got to be able to score goals. And he was the last game that was played over there, he was the super sub, and he scored the game-winning goal to send us to Game 3 against Miami.
Who was here back in, was it October, when Shonde Silva scored that banger?
Yeah, see Ariel over there.
Look, nothing would make me happier if Shonde Silva became that guy again. I would love it. But as of right now, it is, on paper, Emmanuel Latelaf, Saba Lobjanidze, Alexei Miranchuk, and some guy named Miguel Almiron.
Heard of him.
That is the top four. Now, yeah, as a super sub, if Shonde Silva can come in and do stuff like that, that's amazing for him. Then you have guys like Edwin Mosquera on the side. You have a winger core. You have Luke Brennan, hometown kid, right, that can come in and change a game at any point. So this team really has a lot to look forward to. And we've talked about the depth the years before, and the depth has been a bit of a struggle. Atlanta they're involved in MLS play and Leagues Cup this year. They don't have a ton of competitions that they have to compete in. So I think you're going to see guys like Shonde Silva. You're going to see guys like Luke Brennan. They're going to get their opportunities to stand out. And then, of course, Noah Cobb, who we had on the show the other day. Get the rest of your defenders, your center back core. Efrain Morales is another guy.
Yeah.
Those are guys that you're going to see this year. And the way that this team is built, it's set up for sustained success, at least in my opinion. And I know that's what Garth has said. That's what Chris Henderson has said. But if you look at it kind of on paper and common sense, it would show that this group is like they're set for whatever comes their way. Now, is it the deepest roster in MLS? Maybe not. But it's set better than it was last year, definitely the year before, and definitely all the way back towards COVID, because it's not just piece parting stuff together. It's creating a group of guys that actually work well together.
If he was talking about young players, you have 8 homegrowns right now on the senior roster. So I don't know if that's a record for Atlanta United, but certainly as high as I remember there being at one time on the senior roster. So
Yeah.
Chris Harrison said, look, we need our homegrowns to step up. We need to develop our academy players. We need to develop them to become homegrowns. You have a positive impact on your cap. But also, that's a good advertisement for your academy. If you see your academy doing well, he said also, we're going to develop our academy better. We're going to, not to say it's bad now, but we're going to do some more building of the infrastructure. We're going to try to build relationships with some of the independent clubs around Atlanta to harvest players from the city that otherwise they may not have noticed. One example, you look at Inter Miami, a lot of their players in their academy come from places like Weston FC, and that's where Berhard Karameski came from. They got him from Weston FC, of course, the rest is history as it pertains to his development. So I sort of see something like that happening with Atlanta United. They're going to the Scarves clubs and say, hey, we have an opportunity possibly for one of your kids, one of your young men to come into our system, develop within our system, and hopefully get themselves to a point where they're a homegrown player, get themselves to a point where they affect LA United's first team, like a Luke Brennan, or maybe before that, a George Bello, or a Caleb Wiley, etc.
You got the mic, schoolboy Henry. Very funny.
Come on in here, get in the camera.
I'm trying to get in the camera. I don't want to start speaking without being on camera. With the shirt tucked in and everything. Sure, laugh it up. We're talking about the academy, and look, Atlanta, they're not Philadelphia yet in terms of their academy, but there. And last year, I spoke to academy director or apology, Javier Perez, and he has an ambitious plan for this academy. He knows that they're already putting out talented players. You got your Caleb Wileys, you got your George Bellows, you got your Noah Cobbs right now. But you've got, the newer kids. You got the Dominic Chonquis, you've got the Ashton Gordons of the world. You've got so many promising young players, and some that we haven't even seen yet at the second or first team level that are going to be coming up in the next few years. So yeah, I would say the academy right now is really, really exciting. And we have reason to believe that we're going to be putting out some more stars in the next few years.
Is it my turn?
Yes. No, I'm sorry, real quick. I got to say, Tyler's.
I just got to jump in. Big shout out to the Signia by Hilton Hotel. Nest on Fort Bar. They make a banger of a mojito. By the way, I'm calling them out. If y'all like mojitos, go get you one. But we appreciate them hosting us, allowing us to do this, allowing everybody to come in here as I wave around a French fry. We appreciate it, guys. We really appreciate everybody showing up. And we hope y'all are as excited as we are, because this is the most hype this team has had, in my opinion, like I said at the beginning, in 6 years easy. So it's good to be back around this kind of crowd.
Yeah, you mentioned Signia by Hilton, Atlanta. That's not for it's their second year, kind of our partnership. And before we move on, I kind of want to set the table of what we want to do. We're going to be here some more times throughout the year, so definitely go to scarvesandspikes.com. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on Blue Sky, Facebook, Threads, however social media platforms there are now. But check that out. We'll give you more information on when we'll be around, what times we'll be around. We'll be here for several Lady United games. We'll also be here for every one of the Club World Cup games that Atlanta is hosting right across the way at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So teams like Chelsea, teams like Inter Miami, teams like Man City will be here in Atlanta for the Club World Cup, and we'll be here for every single one, including the knockout stages, guys. So really excited about that. I won't be here for a few of them because I'm getting married in June, but thank you. My fiance is back there, by the way. Hi, Carrie. Welcome, by the way. But really excited for our partnership this season. Again, with Signia by Hilton, the hotel, and the Nest on Ford.
I have to go off script real quick because I've seen the ladies in pink everywhere around this hotel for the last. I got here at 9, and there's been pink everywhere. So shout out to all the ladies over there in the pink and green. You guys have been partying all day. So I just wanted to make sure that you everybody give it up for them.
Yes.
I hope you're absolutely lit by the end of the night.
We thought you were Miami fans. We thought they were Miami fans, but they're not.
So
they know how to party for sure, 100%.
We can tell. There you go. Yeah, thank you. Forget Miami.
Yeah. Peace up, A-Town down. That's right. So real quick, guys, there's another match going on right now. LAFC and Minnesota United. That's scoreless at halftime. So try to kind of update you all on that as the night goes on. But of course, 7:30, bunch of fastest kickoff, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. So, by the way, if you're a T-Mobile subscriber, you can subscribe for MLS Season Pass for free. You get it free with your subscription. This is not an ad. We're not sponsored by T-Mobile yet. If you're watching, please sponsor us. Please sponsor us if you're watching T-Mobile. But yeah, this is a perk that you get with your subscription. So you won't be able to miss any, guys, Atlanta United match, including Leagues Cup, including MLS Cup, including MLS Cup Final, which will be played in that building in December, hopefully.
If Atlanta brings another MLS Cup back, Tommy's shaving his beard.
No.
You heard it here first.
No, my wife won't touch me if I do that. There's no shaming here, but let's just be interactive here. Who's sitting in the 100 section tonight?
Ariel.
Who's in the 200s?
200. Siffy here.
Hey, one of y'all over there's got a Waffle House cup, and I appreciate it. Y'all are real G's. I know, y'all have been in it today. So, shout out to the 200 section and Waffle House.
Who's in the 300s? That's where I am. All right.
Two people.
That's what you get.
They're a little cheaper, right? There's not a bad seat in the Benz, so we'll be partying in 300 section.
That's why I'm not buying them shots.
Oh, wait, we're doing shots?
Wait, what?
I'm not.
No.
You guys can.
I told these ladies over here we're not buying them shots.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't afford it. As much as I would love to.
We need a few more $10 patrons for that.
Yeah. That's a $50 patron.
By the way, I don't know if it's already open, but you guys heard about that 300 club that they're opening at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right? Is that open tonight or will they open?
That's a good question. I know they were redesigning a lot of stuff to add in like the kind of balconies and the different sections for people, but I don't know that that's open yet.
For 25.
Basically, for United for 25, it's just basically going to be a sponsored thing where you can buy it out.
That makes sense.
Okay, gotcha.
It'll open in June.
Open in June.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Time for a club.
Jackson was saying that the curtains are down over that section, so that makes sense. This is the part of the show normally where we try to get you guys involved and give you guys a couple of minutes to get up here and have whatever opinion that you want to give, because that's what our show is based on. We started this show because we wanted the fans to have a place to rant, hopefully celebrate a lot more than rant, but the past few years has been ranting. But celebrate, give their opinions, whatever. So, if anybody wants to get up here, a couple of minutes, give your opinions. What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? What are you mad about?
For 2025.
Yeah, what's 2025 look like to you for Atlanta United or MLS in general? This is your chance. Sean, you've been standing up here. I know you're ready. If you want to be.
I'll do it.
It's on the mic.
I'll do it.
Hey, anybody else, get in line. It's open. Ariel, I see you over there. I know you're waiting. Come on.
Me, personally, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great year.
Yeah? Who are you most excited about?
Everyone's talking about Almiron and all this. This is my question. I think Saba, if it was MLB, he'd be getting low MVP votes. I think he's the providing man.
I like it.
I think he's going to be the guy this year.
So, on that note, Garth Lagerwey has actually said over and over again,
they built this team, right? You have Miguel Almiron, you have Saba Lobjanidze, you have Miranchuk, you have Latte Laugh. You can't leave one of those guys alone. If you can't. They're going to punish you. But everybody has played against Saba at some point over the past couple of years. Now you've got Miggy coming back. You've got Miranchuk, who doesn't have to be completely surrounded by a bunch of guys. And then you've got this guy named Latte Laugh, who can run like a freight train. If you are worried about those guys and you leave Saba Lobjanidze alone, he's going to make you pay. And then the next thing you know, he's going to be pointing to his watch saying, it's Saba time.
No, and that's my thing. I think come the end of the year, you're going to look at stats-wise. I think he's going to be just as good as Almiron. He may not have as much assists because playing on the outside and the wings. But I think you start looking at total what he means to the team. I think he's going to be just as important as any of the other three.
I mean, this team is all about speed. I think there's so many threats at this point where it's hard to really – you can't do what a lot of teams did before, which is like put 2 or 3 guys on like Almada or a couple of guys on Giacomakis. Because if you do that to any of these guys, the other 3 can hurt you really bad. And I think that was interesting when we had the Latte Lat introductory press conference. And I don't remember who asked the question, but he was talking about what, like, he if he'd analyze, like, MLS defenders and what he'd seen there. And he said, like, yeah, I see defenders that I can get behind of, and I can get in behind these guys. And, like, dude, this guy already knows that he can ball out. So I think that's really interesting. And I'm excited to see Latte Lats play. I hope he starts today. I don't know if he will, but I'm excited for him. Are you?
I am, but I'm kind of with Tyler. I don't think we see him till late, just to give him a rest. But there's a lot of pressure on him. I mean, there's a lot of money spent. So I think he actually comes good? Yes, I think he's going to be great. There's one thing, I don't know if y'all have seen the Apple thing yet on MLS onside. What I thought was interesting was the comparison between the championship and MLS, where they were on there talking about how, I don't remember who it was valuing that the championship is just as equal as MLS now.
Yeah.
And I kind of believe it. And that's what I said. I think his signing is proof that MLS is definitely on the rise. And I'm looking forward to seeing, that's what me and Henry talked about earlier. I'm looking forward to this year. You're starting to see talent come in, younger talent. It's not just Almiron returning. It's just there's younger talent coming in. This year is going to be a fun year all the way around.
You have Denke up in Cincinnati. You have Jonathan Bamba over in Chicago. Sorry, Chicago, if you're a Chicago fan and you're randomly here right now. I wish you the best of luck this season. But, no, I mean, you're right, though. There's a lot of talent coming in this year that stands out beyond. And of course, there's guys going out, too, right? Like, you have Cucho from Columbus. That's a big, big loss for the league. But you've got, I think,
big game for Atlanta, though.
Yeah, just a little bit. But, no, it's a good place to be. As a league, as not just an Atlanta group that wants to grow this place, but as an MLS, kind of lover, I think this is a good place to be because you're up there with the championship, maybe with, a second division in Spain, second division in Italy. Like, you're working your way up as a league, and you're gaining respect. And then you have the Club World Cup here in a couple of months as well.
Like me and Henry talked about earlier, and he brought up, the key to this league, I think, is this club being successful. Yeah. You can get 70,000 people in this building. This is what American soccer wants to be. And this is proof that it can succeed.
Absolutely.
But it's key on this club.
Let me ask you a question. So this year, let me say this. Latte Lat, how many goals has he scored?
I'm not going to go 20. Everyone's going high, but I think 15.
The next guy must.
Yeah.
I think 15 or just a little bit more, but I think he also, it depends on the play. I think he's going to be a great creator and a good, basically, player. So he's going to basically add to the, the assists. And so I think he's going to be more of a build-up player too, just like even the speed. The speed's going to play, but I think he's just all around. He's probably the best striker they've had since Joseph.
I like it.
All right.
And I love GG, even though he was kind of a
Yeah,
dick
yeah, he left on a little bit of a hot note. That's all right. All right, we'll do the hot swap on the mic.
Thank you.
So I'm not trying to put you on the spot like it's Alcoholics Anonymous or anything, but what's your name?
My name is William Higgins.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank
Good
you
to
very
meet you.
much. Yeah, I really just came to say that I'm probably most excited about tonight is to see the reception of the fans for Miggy. I mean, I think I was here from the beginning, like most of us, with the hype and lived through the down years and things like that. And to have Miggy back is such a moral boost, I think, for this team. And then in addition to that, you have all the other players that we have, Latte Lath, and then with the new coach, and I'm excited to see what he can do. It really, I think, is going to be more of that spirit animal energy coming when Miggy's on the field. But I also call out, I don't know if everybody has seen, just today I watched, I think it's called Onsides. It's the MLS. It's episode 7 is about Atlanta United. It was just all about last season. And I was watching it today and I realized, holy shit, it really was that bad. And I almost forgot because we had such an amazing Cinderella story. At the end of the season, you forgot just how bad it got. And the fact that we turned it around. In fact, my wife and I, who's over there, we ended up going to Orlando to see the match after the Miami game because we were on the hype train. And I want to say that those are the worst fans I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Dude,
I mean, I'm sorry.
Goal kick with the Orlando fans is the worst.
I mean, no, honestly, we were sitting there, and it was like they were like middle schoolers beside us, and their parents were over there, and they were cussing at us. And it's I'm sorry,
very juvenile.
You go to the Benz, you don't mean like, look, we don't do that. I mean, like, it's bad. So anyway, but I just wanted to say, yeah, I'm excited about Miggy. Definitely hyped for the season. The energy of just general around the town is just like, obviously, there's a lot of positivity. So hopefully tonight we're going to hear that train horn 7 times, maybe.
Hey, let's go.
That's what
From your mouth to God's ears. Let's go.
Yeah.
Real quick, how many goals and assists does Miggy get in 2025?
Oh, man. That's a good one. You know what? Yeah, I'm thinking goals, I'm thinking somewhere around maybe 10. And assists, maybe 10. Let's just do the double-double. I'm thinking a double-double.
Hey, 10 solid. So let's do an experiment because there was a lot of people in here that were excited about Miggy in the beginning. Ask them how loud they can get for Miguel Almiron being back in the bench.
All right. So this is a little precursor. Everybody in the room that's listening, how loud are we going to get for Miguel Almiron tonight? Can we hear a little precursor? Yeah! That's pretty good. I think get a few more drinks.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit more alcohol in everybody. It'll be a little louder.
A lot louder.
By the time he scores that goal tonight, or 2, or 3.
That's all it's going to take. That place, the roof will literally...
Yeah,
3 and the roof will blow off, yeah.
It will blow off, so...
Hey, make some noise if you were here back at the Premier League in 2023 when they came here. Woo! That was... And if you were here, you know what it was like. And if you were here back in 2018, you know what it was like.
Yeah.
But to see that man come back here in 2023 and score a goal inside the bins, that place was... I don't want to say quiet, but it's a couple of friendlies for Premier League teams, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But then when he got on the ball and he scored that goal, this place freaking went insane. And that is just a taste of what you can look forward to tonight if that man scores a goal. This place, you can inject it into your veins after this. No more drugs, no more alcohol. That's all you need.
That is so true. Listen, thank you so much. I'll give some other people a chance. All right. Thank you.
All right, keep them rolling. Ariel, what's up? Anybody else who wants to get up here? Hey, the mic's open. What's up, Ariel? This is what we're What's up, guys? What's up, buddy? It's been a while. Hey, that peach margarita was off the chain.
Wasn't it delicious?
Really good.
Shout out to Terminus Legion.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so I wanted to provide another perspective on this entire latte latte situation.
Let's go.
Okay? And I'm going to pull in from several sources. So the context is
one of them.
It is this Wednesday. If you guys don't watch Scarves and Spikes podcast at Wednesday 7 p.m. on YouTube and X and everywhere else, you guys can watch it. You guys were talking about how there's a chance that he may not be Golden Boot because the goals will be distributed amongst the entire front line. We've got Miggy, Saba, Alexi. They're all incredible, right? I agree. But when at the Latte Lot press conference, where the way that Chris Henderson introduced him was that he's a fast poacher style striker. He gets behind the lines. And he even said it himself. It reminds him a lot of another king that we used to have back in the good old days, right? In that time, we also had an incredible front line that all of them are very, very, very capable of scoring numerous goals. But the game was centered around get Joseph the ball in the box.
Yeah.
Why can't that be the same style of play we have now?
That's very legit, yeah.
I'm under the impression that at 65, we can hit 65 goals this season. And I really do
I think a bit more than that.
Yeah.
How high do you think we're...
What's the record?
I think 79 was
79 for last year.
Yeah, 73. I think it was 79.
79. So Ronnie Dyla said this week that his goal for the season is 55 and 45. 55 goals and less than 45 conceded. Was it 45 or 40? It was one of those two numbers.
They said last year I think was 49. So 45 is.
Yeah, he was giving numbers about like the averages of the top 4 teams. I say like that's his goal. And I'm under the impression if they play with this aggressive high line and we try to get Latte Lat the ball, he's easily going to get the golden boot. Like 35 goals?
I don't know about that.
You don't think 35?
Maybe that's a little. And I think you got to keep in mind, and I don't mean to like burst your bubble or anything, but he's getting call-ups to the Ivory Coast national team now, and he's going to be missing for at least those windows. One of them coming up is actually in March. I think the full window is from like the 16th or the 17th to like the 25th or something like that. He will, and I looked it up, he will definitely be missing the Inter Miami and Cincinnati games if he gets called up. It's a big if, though.
Okay.
I don't know if it's confirmed. But if he does start getting called up, I think it's reasonable to expect, like, he might not hit that mark exactly. But I still think he's getting 21 goals this season.
Okay, so on that, let's put Latte Lat to the side. Everyone's excited about Miggy. Let's say that they're playing the same aggressive highline style. How many assists does he have?
Miggy, specifically?
Specifically Miggy to anyone. Total assists at the end of the season.
10, 15?
I'll give it 14.
I was going to say 13.
Okay, so I was the high one with 15. Okay,
I'm good with that.
Let's go. Vamos. Because he can give to all 3 of them, right? All 4 of them can pass to each other, and you can almost guarantee a goal.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You'll see, like, Miggy and Moranchuk switching up sometimes at the 10. Sometimes it'll be Miggy. Sometimes they'll play kind of together as, like, 2 dueling number 10s, if that even makes sense. But they've done that in preseason sometimes, where Miggy, like, comes in centrally, and he plays more through the middle. And that's something I think you'll see a little bit more of, because he can be very creative in midfield. We saw that the first time he was in Atlanta. And so he might operate more around the middle where he was before. On paper, he'll be on the right wing most of the time, but you'll see him kind of moving around a little bit more. So I'm excited to see what he brings. I know that he, after 6 years in the Premier League, he has more experience. Some people will argue like, oh yeah, these attacking players will be slower, like their numbers will go down. I don't really think so. I think he'll be more or less the same. He has more experience in a more competitive league. Just a couple of years ago, he scored about like 11 goals in the Premier League. So I think there should be optimism that he can have that level of productivity here in MLS again, and maybe even go beyond that.
15. I'm saying 15 assists.
15 assists?
That's what I'm saying.
How many goals did you say?
For Miggy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't answer that question. But I would say between 10 to 15.
Okay, I'll give you another question. So, which player is going to score the first goal for Atlanta United this season?
Miggy! I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think if Latte Lat starts, which I actually do think he might. I do believe he might. With the way that everyone's been talking, he may start and then come off.
We'll know in 20 minutes.
We'll find out in 10 to 20
I think it's vice versa, but you never know.
So
if he starts,
yeah.
So let's do two scenarios. If he starts, I think that he's going to want to make a name for himself. That he is definitely going to want to show everyone, yeah, I was the biggest signing. This is why. If he doesn't, then yeah, Tyler. I know Tyler's been on his Miggy train.
Hey, man, that's winner.
I'm with you.
So Latte Last / Miggy. He says Miggy. Who do you say, Sydney?
I say Saba.
Saba.
I say Saba in the first half, and then Latte Lat and Miggy in the second half. That's what I think.
3-0? Is that yours?
3-1. 3-1.
He said 3-1. He said 2-0. Tommy, I think, also said 2-0. We all have our predictions.
Yeah, 2-0. I'm going to say 3-1.
Okay, I like 3-0 better.
2-1.
2-1 from Sean. Okay.
Our guest on Across the Pitch, Andy Coronado of the Ball of Round Montreal, he said 2-1 to Atlanta.
He said 2-1 as well.
That's going to be interesting, though, like this matchup, because Montreal, their defense was a bit sketchy last season.
Yeah.
And I think it's still, they've got some important injuries coming into this game. Jalen Neal, their newest signing from the Galaxy, young defender, center back, he is injured. He is not going to be at this game. Their DP signing, Giacomo Vrioni, who was previously at New England, he is also out with injury. And we went through this, and it's kind of a lot of new people going into this team. And so I'm not sure what to expect from I know what to expect from Atlanta. I know that we can expect some energetic soccer, some very good attacking soccer, and a team that is hungry for goals and is hungry for wins. Because when we talk to these players throughout the week, they made it clear they have a goal, and their goal is to be hoisting MLS Cup in this building come December.
Absolutely. And I will say that in that interview, he seemed very unsure himself. He was like, I don't know if my defense can hold up. I don't know if the attack can score. So I'm totally with you there, Henry. I'm going to say 3-0.
I like it. Jackson, bring you up on the mic. We're going to tag team in. And again,
Tag out. There we go.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Ariel. So really quick, as we do the hot swap, if you want to get up here, let us know. Hop in line. I don't know if y'all are in line, but if you are, you're more than welcome. I don't think you are. That's okay. I do have a bit of trivia, and here's the way this is going to work. Whoever's hand I see first, that's who I'm calling on, and whoever gets it right, I'll buy you a shot of bourbon. All right? So,
You doing with the Patreon funds, or
what's that?
you doing with the Patreon funds, or?
No. I mean, this is everybody here in line. We're not going to ship you some varsity in the mail. All right, so here's the trivia, Atlanta United trivia. This massive building next to us, who was the first player to score a goal inside this building? Hands up.
God, I don't even know.
I see it. We got one right here.
What is it?
Not Garza. Let's get guess though. Did someone get their hand up over there? You got an answer? Who? Wait. I don't see anybody.
Yeah.
Not Joseph. Tito.
Not Tito.
Who? Wait, come up here. I can't hear you. I literally cannot hear you. Oh, okay, repeat the question. Who was the first player to score a goal inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium ever? Not Joseph.
Almiron.
Who? Leandro! Yeah! There it is.
LGP.
Leandro Gonzalez Perez. So, I hope you like bourbon.
Did he get a yellow?
He's like, yes.
Did he get a yellow card in that game, by the way?
So there we go. All right, a shot of bourbon. It's on its way. All right.
All right, Jackson.
Back to Jackson, our resident MLS fantasy expert.
Yes.
At what place did you end in last season?
It was top 150. There's a week there where I was 4th overall, and I was loving life. I was like, this grand prize is coming my way. That MLS store gift card is going to be mine. Didn't end up making it all the way, but
so close.
we got pretty close.
Well, you're doing fantasy this year too, right?
So I'm heading up the Scarves and Spikes Fantasy League this year.
We got the league. Bocanegra Juniors.
Bocanegra Juniors.
Stay away from this guy.
And I will say the first player in my lineup was not Messi. It was not.
Oh, okay.
It was Saba Lobjanidze,
Let's go.
who will score the first goal in that building.
All right.
Pick us on your team.
Ooh, through my team.
Who are you captaining? Not because
I
I'm your head-to-head opponent or anything, but
No, definitely not. All right. Captain was Messi. It had to be. I'm sorry. Now, lineups aren't out yet, so subject to change.
yeah. Dude, can you believe they haven't added lots to MLS Fantasy yet?
Yeah, that's
What are they
rough.
doing,
I don't
man?
know what they're doing over there.
Like
this
record
is
signing, you
a
would think
record
that earns
signing
you some
should
respect.
be plug and play.
He doesn't even have a page.MLSsoccer.com yet.
What?
Does he
Hey,
know?
what's a left?
You break the MLS transfer
wow,
record.
that's
At the very
disrespectful.
least, you should get a website page or something.
You would think. It's good.
They just haven't added them to fantasy yet, which is still disappointing.
Anybody that wants to get up here, get on the mic.
Get on
let us
up
know.
here.
It is open for y'all.
I'll give another point that
Yes.
I haven't heard yet. There's been a lot of talk about the llamas. There's been a lot of talk about the Slams.
Yes.
I don't want to overlook the midfield. I don't want to overlook Mateusz Klich and Bartek Slisz.
Yeah.
I think the signing of Mateusz Klich, the absolute robbery that went down on DC United, which I still can't fully comprehend how you can take a whole designated player from another MLS side and pay a fraction of their salary and play with 4 DPs.
It's that Hendo magic,
There could
man.
be 4 DPs on that field in a little over an hour. And I think that experience that he's brought, he played for Leeds over in England. He played for DC. He had, I think, 14 assists last year.
So he's got a bunch.
Almost
Yeah,
got a lot.
There's a lot of assists. And we're talking about Miguel Almiron having 14 assists. If Mateusz Klich can add even more to that, and he was serving out Benteke last year, and that was pretty much the only guy DC has to score goals.
Yep.
So imagine now with all of his options, and then with Ronnie Dyla's double pivot, my hope, aside from the creative capabilities, is to kind of control that midfield more. So they're going to be flying up the field. In these transition moments, Atlanta's going to rely on Mateusz Klich and Bartek Slisz to rein the team back in and not give up some of those transition goals that we saw so many of last year. And so that's where my focus is going to be tonight. I obviously, I guess second to Miguel Almiron. We'll say that.
Yeah,
Second point.
Mickey's the big one, but no, I mean I agree with you. I think when you look at this team, the way that it's built right now, the biggest issue over the past 4 or 5 years has been the midfield. It's been very inconsistent, and you have a guy in Bartek Slisz who has come in, and he has made it a point really to fight for that spot. We knew he was going to have that spot by default, but he's made it a point to keep it, and he played thousands of minutes last year over all competitions. It was kind of ridiculous. But then you bring in his cohort from Poland after you rob DC United, like you said. You bring in Mateusz Klich, who is going to be the more forward-facing midfielder, and then you have Slisz behind him. You're going to see Slisz tonight drop in as an extra center back. You're going to see him be a little bit more defensive-oriented, while Klich is the guy that's kind of being the cohesive man between the defenders and then that front four of attackers. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit underrated, but Ronnie Dyla has talked a lot about how excited he is about having that kind of cohesive unit in the midfield, and also how they all communicate throughout the pitch. Because he said when he got here, one of his biggest issues was nobody talks. Like, you only have 1 or 2 guys. Like, Brad Guzan, we don't have to worry about. He's going to scream. But you don't have guys out there. Brad Guzan's going to scream.
Did you say Brad Guzan's a screamer?
He's a screamer, absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Just wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying. Okay.
I did say it.
I'm going to walk away from
What
this.
did you think he said?
Alcohol is real. It's like,
Hey, cut him off.
that guy with the Joseph, get him out of here. But no, I mean, you've got guys that like he's pushing to make sure they communicate, right? And now that you've got a midfield of Click, who I think is going to help push Slish to be a little bit more adamant about those kind of things, I think you're in a good place.
And I think it's really good that Slish now has a more experienced, a more veteran compatriot in that midfield with him. So you guys that'll understand each other really well. They have kind of a better connection. And the other interesting thing is Cleach actually has a connection with Derek Williams. They're good friends from their time together at DC United.
Yeah.
And so it's like they're building the chemistry little by little of these guys that can speak the same language, are from the same places, can understand each other very, very well. Have played with each other before, have played against each other before even. Like, it's interesting how they're building this web of players that have a better understanding of each other. Because one of my criticisms of this team last season was that very often it looked like just 11 individual players out there, not really coming together. The cohesiveness never really came out until the very, very end. And at that point, it was too late. And that's the thing. When you have these players, they need to a little bit more about each other. They need to know who's going to make the runs, who's going to be occupying what spaces, where can you expect your teammates to go, what can you expect them to do. Because when you know that, like the rest is instinctual. It's faster soccer. It's more entertaining. It's disciplined. And so I think that's going to be a key this season. It's players will know where their teammates are going to be. They're going to know a little bit more about what they can expect from each other. And that's going to make the play a lot smoother. We're probably going to see, I would say, less errors that just seem completely silly from the outside.
Can I add something real quick about Cleek? So, Slish. So we were talking about Slish earlier, right? He won the armband in one of the preseason matches, and I think it speaks volumes. And just the short time that Ronnie Dyla has been here, that he's already putting that much trust in Bartek. I mean, it's preseason, right? But the fact that he won the armband, at least in one preseason match, tells you a lot about what he thinks of Bartek, even just a month or two after taking the job as Leeds United manager, right? We talk so much about Bartek. We talk about the Leagues Cup match against DC United, missing 2 penalties, just his response after that, and really just how he bounced back. Of course, had the match winner, I think it's Miami in the playoffs, but just his overall maturity, his overall play on the field just improved. And we've said this before, he could have just fallen apart after Leagues Cup, and we never really heard from him again. But it just takes tenacity, it takes leadership, it takes maturity to bounce back from that adversity and come back and really have the season that he ended up having in the second
Here comes your shot, by the way. There's your bourbon.
So
we follow through. Shot.
Scarves and spiked.
Yeah. No, but just to finish my note about Slish. He's going to be a very underrated part of this team in 2025. And we argue about, is he the Nagby replacement and all of that? He doesn't need to be. I mean, just let him be Bartek Slish. Let him be who he is. And we mentioned one more thing. He and Cleek are countrymen. We've got a national team together. So again, here we go to your point. There's that chemistry. There's that relationship that the two of them have already had before they started playing for Atlanta United.
I have a question for y'all.
All right.
Now we've gone from the attack, we've gone to the midfield. Let's go to the back line, especially for tonight. There's a lot of injuries surrounding the back line tonight. How do y'all expect the reinforcements in the back line? We saw Dominic Chonky get his short-term call-up to the first team. Matt Edwards, we saw in preseason. How do we think the back line is shaping up against this Montreal side?
Well, look, the lineups will be coming out in about 5 minutes now, so I'm going to quickly get in my prediction. I think Dominic Chonky starts today because Ronnie Dyla rates him very, very highly. He rates him very, very highly. He had a lot of minutes in preseason with the starting core because Pedro Amador was out. He missed the entire preseason. So I fully, if he is available, which he is now, Dominic Chunky, I expect him to be starting. And then Ronald Hernandez on the other side as a right back. And I would assume the center back pairing is going to be Gregerson and Abram, just because Abram got more minutes with the starting core again in preseason. And so I think that Dyla kind of likes him a little bit more to be that next man up in the center back position behind Derek Williams. And so, yeah, I expect it to be the back four. I expect the center backs, Gregerson and Abram, and then fullbacks Dominic Chunky and Ronald Hernandez.
I disagree. I don't think Chunky will start tonight. I think he'll come in if they really need him in the second half. But yeah, I put Matt Edwards on the left, Ronnie Hernandez on the right. They can switch. They can both play either side, so that's an advantage. I'm just scared about the overall depth at that part of the pitch. And Henderson said, we looked at some outside backs, but they decided not to. He decided not to pull the trigger. I feel like Chunky is a more, in case of emergency type player for tonight. But yeah, I do think we see Edwards on the left and Hernandez on the right, or vice versa.
So this might be a hot take.
Oh, boy.
I don't know, man. It's not that hot of a take. This is not like habanero pepper hot. This is like maybe jalapeno hot. And this is nothing against Matt Edwards, but I feel like Dominic Chunky has had a better preseason than Matt Edwards. And I feel like you keep Ronald Hernandez on the right where he's comfortable, and then you put Dominic Chunky on the left where he's clearly impressed the coach. Let him go over there. But that's my hot take, by the way. I think Dominic Chunky over Matt Edwards, personally.
Yeah, I agree with you. You don't want to rush him, though.
It's not that hot.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I was going to say jalapeno. This is not habanero. Or goes
lukewarm.
Yeah, okay, fine, lukewarm, whatever. But I think beyond that, I think there's a chance to stay on Gregerson Derek because I think Derek is going to be okay. And I really do feel like you put Luis Abram as a left back, potentially. I think there's a possibility.
I don't know
find
about
out
that.
I'm not sure about that. But I think there's an opportunity there. And when you're going to a game first season with the new coach, first game of the season, it makes sense to veteran guys. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
It's a very hot take.
Like he's lukewarm, but
He should be out in the next couple of minutes. Can we fill up the
right? We can fill up.
Jackson, score prediction.
Score prediction. So my score prediction was 2-0.
Who scores?
So Saba, obviously, first goal. I think Saba scores. It's Saba time. Second goal, I'll say Miggy. I like it. I think Jamal Tiares does. I think Latelov comes in, maybe gets 30 minutes. But ultimately, I think at that point, Atlanta is preserving their lead. They're focused on getting out here with 3 points and a clean sheet. And I like the clean sheet odds now that Vrioni is not starting. That's who I was most afraid of as far as Montreal goes. And now that he's out, he's confirmed out injured on their availability report, I have high hopes for this defense, especially whether it's Matt Edwards, whether it's Chunky, to show out in this first game and get a clean sheet.
Hold up.
So before you say that,
No, hang on.
Go.
Mikey Ambrose, where you at? Are you here? You were here.
The Ambrose shirt jersey over there.
No,
totally not him.
Welcome.
I know what I was going to say. So we mentioned Vrioni is not going to play tonight. Prince Owusu is a very underrated signing for Montreal, I think. He had 9 goals with Toronto last year. Sort of a breakout season for him. Former German youth international. Hasn't been in the German national team, of course, in recent years, but I think he's a decent signing for them, if nothing more than depth. Like today, you have Vrioni out. I think he'll be able to push Vrioni. For Vrioni, of course, he won't play, but I think this year is kind of a sort of redemption year for him. He was okay with the Revs, but certainly not the player that they hoped that he'd be when they signed him. And essentially, the club just washed their hands of him and just sent him to Montreal. So, Prince Owusu, I mean, you can't overlook, I don't think.
This lineup hasn't dropped yet, has it?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
waiting.
What you got?
All right, real quick, before we finish this up, because I know we got to get going here soon. How many goals is Atlanta United going to score tonight?
You are so loud.
That's okay. Be loud. Let's go.
That's what I do.
Vamos.
How many goals are Atlanta? Are they going to score 1?
3? 4?
No one said 2?
4?
Okay. I think they can do better than 2. 3?
3. Okay. Nobody said 2 yet. Let's go.
She said 3.
Sean said 2. That's okay. Sean's being reasonable. Don't want it reasonable. That's okay. Be unreasonable. Let's go.
My mind is saying 2, but my body's saying 4.
My body's saying 4 too, for sure.
Well, you said 2-0, so
I did. That was my mind. This is my body. I like 4. Look, I'll take a 4-0 win on opening day in 2025 every day of the week. Let's go. Where's the freaking lineup?
Dude, I don't know.
Drop it, Atlanta. Let's go.
You got another filibuster? We got another filibuster. Who's got the mic?
How many games in until Atlanta United scores a set piece this season?
Tonight.
Right now.
Tonight.
Let's go. It's happening
John
tonight.
Gregerson from a corner, probably.
I think it's going to be Alexei Miranchuk to Jamal Tiare. I'll give it to Jamal. I'll give it to Jamal.
What about you?
I don't think a set piece is in the cards tonight. However, I like the Sion Gregerson corner shout. Yeah. Also, Derek Williams, threat on corners if he plays. So maybe not tonight. Maybe next weekend in Charlotte. Anyone going to Charlotte next weekend? Maybe
Anybody traveling to Charlotte? Anybody taking the trip up for the Crown and Coke Derby?
It'll be a good one. Yeah. I'm excited for the Charlotte game. I think that it's their home opener up there. They got Wilfred Zaha.
Yep.
Who's that?
Some guy named Wilfred Zaha. It's not Miguel Almiron.
It's not Miguel.
Not Miguel Almiron.
As much as they try.
They try. All right, lineups out.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Avenu's lineup.
And Latte Lath is starting.
It's starting.
Let's go.
All right, let's run through this real quick. Brad Guzan, the captain, number 1 in the goal. Back line, Ronald Hernandez, left back. Matt Edwards, right back. Center back pairing of Louisa Brown and Stian Gregerson. Midfield holding it down is Mateusz Klich and Bartek Slish. And then up front we have Saba at left wing, Alexei Miranchuk at the number 10, and on the right wing, Miguel Almiron.
Let's go.
How do you say names so cool? I can't say
Spanish.
names cool. Every time I try to say something cool, I sound like Borat.
It's called being Latino.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Borat's sexy Latino voice.
So,
Take it away.
of course, yeah, he will start.
Schoolboy Henry let it go to his head.
No, but just real quick, Williams is in the team. You know, he was questionable coming in, but he is in the team today. So, don't know if we see him. Yeah, don't know if we see him in the second half. Chunky, of course, in the team. Cobb, Fortune, Mascara, who you expect Muyumba. So, I don't see Toyashi in the team. He's available for selection tonight simply because of depth. But we'll see him down the line.
Third string at this point for
Can you believe we now have enough depth to where a player like Togashi can't be included in the lineup?
Yep.
That's wild.
That's a good place to be.
We're in a good place, and part of that is, you have Chris Henderson, like the guy who wrote the playbook on how to build an MLS roster now. Like, this is huge. Atlanta United's depth now is much better than it was 2 years ago or even a year ago. And that's cause for excitement, not just for tonight, but for the whole season. Because it's a long season. And you've got international breaks. You've got, knock on wood, injuries potentially. You got a lot of stuff. And so it's going to be good to have that depth on the squad.
Doug Garber is at the game. Colonel just said he walked in with him into Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So
there you go. MLS commissioner. Here in the biggest city in the world.
But we wanted to thank you all for hanging out with us for the past hour. Thank you to the Signia. We know we all got to get over there. We got to go get more drinks. We got to go celebrate. We got to start screaming, chanting, all of that. Have fun at the game. Be responsible. Not too responsible, but have some fun. And hopefully we'll be back here after the game celebrating. Thank you everybody that listens to us. If you haven't listened to us, do everything all the streamers, my kids like on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we appreciate you all.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, smash the like button, as they say. We appreciate it, y'all. Y'all been awesome, and